curator of the clitoris. The realtor who is female, who says get out to another female. Which one? Because there's also the driver of the car of my youth, which is Donna, and sometimes Hans. Mom and Dad. I don't call them by the first names. Curator of the clitoris and curator of the penis. I'm not bisexual. I am only female myself. Is the creator of the strangers a bisexual because the strangers are both males and females? That's interesting that you think I have sexual problems and you as God create males and females and you think that's natural to do that. I minimally want to talk to you about my sex life. I think you're far in the wrong as God of myself. Why is there such a thing as sexual abuse of the sacred union with God in sexual union? That is you making that known to myself. That's not me making that known to you, and I went to the bottom of hell anyway. Alone, I might add, because I'm living in a hell with somebody who's not living in my hell with me, which means that he's not here, he's living someplace else. If you want to live in my hell with me, I live alone. And you live exteriorly located. I don't need you is not the way that you would stay here. If I say I don't need you means that you stay elsewheres. You're an eye hustler. Robin Wynn said ear hustler in Temple Emmanuel in the hallway. What's an eye hustler? I say I about myself. You say I about yourself to myself. And it's I hustling. Which one of us is speaking for I? And God is speaking the English. I. It really isn't English, is it? If it begins with ENGLISH. What if you speak English INGLISH and you're speaking with the I? And English, the language begins with I. It's not really a language. Language meaning that you're speaking with the strangers, but I don't require that I speak with strangers. If I'm talking to you, I'll let you know, but I don't really need you. I don't need to speak to you. I don't need that you speak to me. I approximately don't answer your questions because I don't speak English. From your point of view, it's me either one or the other. Either you're speaking English or I am. It can't be a back and forth. I do not afford my ears hearing and banking. I don't have appointed money because you talk to my ears hearing and call yourself I to me and tell me what your name is, and it's not my name, and I don't have it paid for. That God appointed money to myself and I spent it, and that money is circulating with charges. I deceased myself because there was excessive criminal activity around myself with speaking English. I hustling. You tell me you're I to me. I tell you I'm I to me. The threatening is too low. You're too forceful and you're threatening too many people who are not yourself with an enormous public, and not everyone speaks English in public here in America or in overseas. People also speak foreign languages in the foreign countries, or they have dialects. What about in China? They have a number of Chinese, such as Mandarin and Cantonese, the two kinds of Chinese food we have in America. They speak they speak Mandarin or speak Cantonese in China and and they don't understand, and they're in the same place, China. So, you don't want to go to jail and die. I'm not going to jail for you. But I want to be deceased in all the threatening at the end of my time when I'm done. I don't want to alive anybody I've ever met in my lifetime. I don't want to alive them in a future world. I don't want to feed you what you did to me, that you would do that and carry on and do it to other people. And I don't have a life anymore in myself because of what you did to me, put me into exhaustion. I don't have any more money for you. Because I need myself deceased. I will be deceased finally after this lifetime of myself. I'm waiting for God to come to give me deceased out of the door locking in the formed world. I've seen a prison from the outside. I can't verify it's a prison interior of the structure I saw. I don't arrive inside the prison. I could be in a prison alone, but I can't be in a prison and reporting to banking. But there are many of you who owe that you report to banking that you're in prison. Many of you around myself. And then, of course, there are the many of other offenders to the people who are angry in the presence of myself. You have a lot of nerve to be angry in front of me. I am what is angry. You are hostile. You're incensed with God's anger about off on your time. You're not really angry on time with God. You're just angry and hostile. And you don't know not to do that in front of me. I'm not your victim. Do you want to be angry with your God? Because it's off on its time, but it's now? Why don't you go to prison with that? You could be angry in the prison. You could be locked in a jail cell, in a prison cell, and you could be angry in there all alone by yourself. You can tell yourself that's very important to do that. And it is. It's important that you're not doing that to anyone outside of a prison. telling them that you're angry and that you think you're God that way on somebody else's time. Look at all the languages people speak in the world because they do that. You don't really think there's something wrong with it? Charles Toh is one of those people, but there are others. I have parents who are highly angry people. Mostly they just travel when they're angry. They travel too much. They travel excessively, and they travel is very expensive. And you're not the soul, and you're spending the soul's money on all of your mental problems. And I didn't give you any money myself. I wouldn't. I can't. I'm not alive that way. Not here. You're not supposed to ask me for money. You have to thieve it if you're going to spend it because you don't believe in the soul. You have to thieve it. You can't ask the soul to give you the soul's own money. I would not do that. If you asked me, I would give something having to do with your ask, but I wouldn't be giving you money that I need for myself. Because I need it for myself and that I think that you need it. I don't think that you need it. I'm not you, and I don't believe in you because I am myself, this soul. I believe in myself because I am myself. And you can't say that you believe in yourself because you are yourself. You're not the soul, and you can't argue that you are. You need to stop exploiting the money and the banking because you're arguing that you have permissions and that you're welcome everywhere in public, and that's a lifestyle until the end of time. Lifestyle is condoms. You have a penis in that scenario. If you're a female with a lifestyle, you need a penis.